Hi Jesse, my name is David Milburn, and in this video I'm going to show you three things you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. Most likely you're sitting there asking yourself, why would I be doing this and what's in it for me? Well, you're lucky because I read minds, and the answer is this. Oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local business owners are too busy running their business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. And sometimes the only hesitation they have to hiring someone is they don't know who's an expert and who isn't. I have found by giving people an easy blueprint of actual things they can do to impact their businesses for free has resulted in some of those local business owners still raising their hands and saying, I like you, David. Please do this for me. So if by the end of this video you liked what you've heard and you can see that I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve that can help your business, shoot me a message back and we can chat. Or if at the end of this video you simply want to take this free attack plan I gave you to do yourself, well, that works for me too. So now let me show you three things that will set your company above your competition and not waste any more of our time. The first thing I want to go over is content. Content is everything on your page here. Most business owners know they need content, but they don't know that the average length of the number one search result on Google for water damage restoration is 1,500 to 2,400 words. So for you to show up at the top of Google, you need to add at least 1,500 words on your homepage, which contain the right keywords. And right now, your website has about 500 words. Okay. So I pulled up one of your competitors here in this niche in water damage restoration. You can see, and they only have about 600 words, so they're beatable. They just put a little more effort into their content. Now, this is a little tool that have a paid subscription to called Ahrefs. I pay a couple $100s a month for this. But what it essentially does is give me a behind-the-scenes look at what Google is looking at when they search and they crawl websites. So I ran a quick scan of your competitor site here. Okay, this is Paul Davis and Elizabethtown's website. And if I click on their keywords, so they're showing 20 organic keywords their site is being found for. And if I look at at what they're being found for, you can see. Yeah, the traffic they're being found for here. So again, this is the sites, the keywords that they're being found for. Okay, so water damage restoration, that's the number one. There's 30 searches, they're being found 6 times. So if we go over here and we look at your site, you have 10 keywords. Okay, and this is what your site is being found for. Okay, and so you seem to be focusing on carpet cleaning, which is obviously something you do as well. But if we want to get into the water damage niche, there's some work we can do there. So the number one thing I think you can do for your website is to get 1,500 keywords on your home page, and they contain those keywords that people are looking for, that customers are searching for. And this tool can help us find that. Okay, that's what's driving your competitor's website up their search results, but it's 100% beatable. So let's look at this. So I actually did an actual Google search for water damage restoration, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. And this first thing we see at the top here, this is the ads section, okay? So ads can work, but they're also going to be a money pit if your foundation, your website isn't dialed in. So you want to be careful not to burn money with Google ads until you know for sure that your website's going to convert. But let's move on down to the next thing I want to show you, and that's these citations, okay? So you're probably asking yourself, well, what's a citation and why do they matter? And that's a great question. So you can see this map pack here. This is the next section, also known as sometimes the maps, the Google Maps. And this has got business's name, address, and phone number. Well, that's also known as a NAP, N-A-P. And this is how Google verifies and gives relevance to your local business. So now you might be asking yourself, okay, David, how do I show up in the maps? Well, here's that mind reading thing again. So what you do, okay, so the number one thing to do to move up in the maps pack section is, is to get your name, address, and phone number listed. So right now you're not in the top three because your name, address, and phone number is not listed in as many directories as the competition. And a directory are these types of places: Yellow Book, Yelp, City Star, all these different, yellowbook.com, Hot Frog, all that. The listings in here are called citations. Again, your name, address, and phone number. And when you get more of those in the competitor, you gain more trust in Google, and that will push you up in the Mac pack. Now, you might be asking yourself, great, well, how do I get that? Well, again, it's really simple. We use tools like Whitespark or Bright Local that will tell us exactly the directories that your competitors are listed in, and we can go out there and get that list and get your site listed in those directories. But we don't stop there because we don't want to just match them, we want to dominate them. So if they have 100 citations, we want to get what they have and then add 50 to 100 more, so it takes them a long time to catch back up. Now let's talk about the third thing. This is the third pillar. It's called link juice or backlinks. And this is the third pillar that'll really help you dominate on Google. So when we come back here to the search where I did for water damage restoration, Elizabethtown, KY, we go down past the maps. The next section is what's called the organic search results. So right now your site's not ranking in number one, and actually not even on the first page, and that's where you want to be because you get more clicks when you're on the top of those search results. And to get there, you need more authority. So how do you get authority? Well, it all comes down to backlinks. And a backlink is when one website links to another website online. So it kind of works like this. Site A is linking to site B, and that site A gives site B some of its link juice. It's kind of like a vote of confidence in Google's eyes. It passes on authority. And the more relevant the site, the more valuable the link. So for an example, if you get a local blog, about, how to deal with water damage or how do you do this, and you get that linking back to your site, that's great. But if you're in water damage restoration and you have a Pizza Hut linking back to you, that's not so great, right? Because you don't sell pepperonis. So let's go back and look at this Ahrefs tool again. We go back and look at your site. This is going to show you that you've got 137 backlinks. Okay, that's good, but not dominant, and that's giving you some of that authority. And we go over and look at the competition, and they have 212. Okay, so again, not too many more, but they've got some of these strong relevant sources which are pushing them up in the search results. So once again, how do we get these? So with this Ahrefs tool, we can actually see, we can go look which sites that are linking to them, and we can go out and get those sites for you, those same links for your business. Okay, so getting to the top of Google search is not magic, it's just a method, and I've shown you that method today. So here's, in closing, we've looked at content. You need at least 1,500 words on your web page, on your home page, and it needs to contain those buyer intent keywords that people are searching for. Citations, you want to have 50 to 100 more of those in the competition to beat them out by a landslide. And then this link juice, you need more relevant sites pointing to you guys today to show Google you are the authority. And if you implement these strategies, you can be number one across Google. So I bet you're wondering what now? Well, you can either go with this information I provided you today and do this on your own, and I'm totally fine with that. However, if you want the most effective route and want to save yourself the time, you can give me a call at 502-554-1482. Once again, my name is David Milburn, and my number is 502-554-1482. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.